Alright, so today I want to sit down with you and talk through something that basically exploded across the entire Genshin community. And honestly, it's been one of the messiest discussions we've had in a long time. I'm talking about Columbina, the moon goddess herself, and everything players think we know about her so far. Sirene's banner and reruns are finally coming, and you can save up to 25% on these banners at lootbar.gg. Right now, Lootbar has a 3.7 limited offer, a 6,480 shards pack for only $70, while it costs $100 in-game. That means you're saving $30 on Lootbar. I just enter my UID and select a server. I received the shards right away on my account. Besides Honkai, you can also top up in Genshin. Lootbar has over 100,000 satisfied users and also supports PS5 and Xbox top-ups. I regularly use Lootbar for my giveaways, so I can personally recommend it. Use my link in the description for an additional 10% discount. By the way, old users can also get up to 5% off. And just to be extra clear before we start, this video is commentary, community reactions, and speculation based on what people are publicly discussing. Nothing here is confirmed, and everything can still change once we actually see her in action. I want to go through what the community has pieced together, how people reacted, where the confusion came from, and why Columbina is somehow the most mysterious and most argued about character in Nod Cry right now. Think of this like a relaxed chat between friends, just walking through the chaos and trying to make sense of it. So let's start with the main talking points players are debating. One of the biggest surprises is the idea that Columbina might not have any special movement abilities. And this is what threw the community into complete disbelief, because we spent 2 whole patches watching her glide, float, teleport, and move with this insanely graceful animation style. She felt like a character who was born for exploration. But every round of discussion about her kit keeps repeating the same thing. No special mobility, no exploration gimmick, and players straight up hate it. A lot of comments basically say, how do Natlan characters fly around like superheroes, but the literal moon goddess gets nothing? The frustration isn't just about fun movement, it's also about expectations. People got used to Natlan's exploration freedom, and they really thought that Nod Cry would expand on that, not take it away. And then there's the debate about her energy. Players expected Columbina to use a special resource system like Skirk or Mavwika, because lore-wise, she's more primordial than both of them. But the current discussions say she doesn't have that kind of resource at all. Again, not confirmed, but this is where a lot of people start side-eyeing leaks and asking what exactly is going on. Some people even joke that Hoyoverse gave special energy to everyone except the characters where it makes the most sense. Another point that got the community heated is the claim that Columbina doesn't have rest pen or any kind of shredding mechanic. A lot of supports nowadays come with some form of rest pen or def ignore, or some ability that amps up Team DMG in a very straightforward way. So hearing that Columbina may not be doing that, and instead might be focusing more on Lunar reactions, made people very unsure about her role. Some believe she's shaping up to be a Lunar-only support, something almost too specific. And these discussions made players wonder if she'll actually be valuable outside of very narrow team setups. There were a ton of comments comparing her to someone like Farina, who completely changed the meta. People don't want another support who only boosts one tiny reaction category. And speaking of reactions, the new artifact info is what pushed the conversation even deeper. There's supposedly a dedicated set tied to Columbina that boosts Lunar DMG, and then there's this mysterious arcane set, which the community believes is aimed at Hexenzirkel characters like Durin, Mona, and Fischl people. Actually like the idea of the crit plus attack combo, because many arcane characters don't have crit ascension. But the Columbina set being so hyper-specific worries some players. When a character needs their own artifact set to function, players start worrying she'll feel too locked into a single role. It reminds people of other characters in the past who never broke out of their niche. Now let's talk about one of the funniest but also most exhausting parts of this whole discussion: leakers and their riddles. The community absolutely roasted the cryptic style of hinting that's been going on. There's this running joke that every time someone asks, Is this true? The answer is always, basically yes, but a little problem, and then nobody clarifies what the little problem is. Reddit absolutely clowned on this. People compared it to the classic, one leaker always tells the truth, one always lies, riddle. Some even said these vague leaks are worse than silence because they stir more confusion than clarity, and honestly, they're not wrong. When every statement is phrased like a puzzle, it's difficult to take anything seriously. Now let's shift into the bigger picture of how players feel. And honestly, the reactions are all over the place. A lot of people are disappointed because they were expecting Columbina to be a character who brings something new to exploration. After Natlan gave us insane mobility tools, Nod Cry feels like a step backwards for many players. People said it feels like going back to 2020 movement. Others said that Columbina losing flight means Duran losing flight wasn't some temporary thing. It's just how Hoyoverse designed Nod Cry. Some even joked that they already miss Natlan and they're not even done with Nod Cry yet. But it's not all negative. There's also a group of players who think these discussions might be misleading or incomplete. Some say they don't trust the information at all until beta shows actual gameplay. Others feel that people are jumping to conclusions based on half-true details. There's hope that maybe Columbina does more than what these conversations suggest, or that her kit has something unique that hasn't been hinted at. And honestly, this wouldn't be the first time characters looked underwhelming in early discussions and then turned out great. That brings us to synergies and expectations. If Columbina really is tied heavily to Lunar reactions, that sets up an interesting relationship with characters like Flins, Nefer, and possibly the Whitehorse Adeptus. Some players even think Whitehorse might be a Lunar frontliner, especially because the community conversation keeps repeating def-scaling Geosword like it's the next albedo evolution. It's funny, but it also shows people are curious about whether Columbina will end up buffing more than just one reaction type. If she interacts cleanly with Lunar Crystallize, that opens up several team possibilities. If she doesn't, then players worry she'll become extremely niche. So where does this leave us? Honestly, in a very unpredictable spot. There's a lot of noise, a lot of half-answers, and a lot of contradictions. The community is frustrated, amused, hopeful, disappointed, and curious all at once. But I think that's exactly why people are talking about Columbina so much. She's a character with massive narrative presence, strong cutscene identity, and huge expectations. And the moment discussions hint that she might not live up to that, the community goes wild. At the end of the day, we're going to find out soon enough what's actually true, and I'm really curious to see how much of this will hold up. Let me know what you think down below. Do you believe any of this? Do you think Columbina will be a niche Lunar support? Or do you feel like there's still something big missing from the picture? I love reading your takes, so don't be shy. And if you want more breakdowns like this, more community reactions, and more deep dives into upcoming characters, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. Buy 6,480 Oneiric Shards with 3.6 limited pack for only $71 at lootbar.gg. Returning users can also grab an extra coupon for up to 5% off. Link in the description.